Yo, 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 what's going on? It's Terror Talk, baby!
Ow!
Oh, is that a real wolf or was that
Yeah.
a...
Are we doing the howling?
No,
imagine
not
just
me,
throwing-
not me. Yeah, what movie are we reviewing today? The
I
Howling?
don't know. No, imagine.
We got a gem of a movie for you today.
The best movie, Rotten Tomatoes. That's disgusting, bro. And
What?
Like the tomato thing.
Well, Rotten
And
Tomatoes
how they did the
gives
Flash
us an...
dirty.
Oh, yeah, they did do the Flash pretty bad, yeah.
I'm tired of this.
I'm tired of Rotten Tomatoes, and I'm even more tired of Rotten Tomatoes today because the movie we're reviewing today,
Retaliators.
The Retaliators, cue the music.
Or Retail-ators.
Or Retail-ators?
Yeah.
I like that better. I think that would have been a better movie. The Retaliators. Now, the reason why I watched this movie is because I was scrolling on my Amazon Prime account, and I saw that I was like, oh, this looks kind of cool. It's a
Yeah.
badass guy covered in blood.
Yeah.
Looks like a whole bunch of monsters and stuff, and it says, like, action horror, right? And I'm like, oh, man, that's right. That's my cup of tea.
Yeah.
And I checked on, usually I check on Rotten Tomatoes first because if I don't know the movie. And I looked at the Rotten Tomatoes score, 88% critics with 42 reviews, and 89 audience score. I said, whoa, hey,
You're like, hold up.
hold up.
Did we
I
find
think
a hidden gem?
is this another gem? Is this the second best movie you've never heard of? Unfortunately, no, it was not.
It was terrible.
Terrible.
It's horrible. I remember he recommended this. I was like, all right, let me check this out.
Yeah.
And the first scene, I was just like, this is so dumb.
It's
and I'm
so
just
stupid.
Like, it's so. My biggest complaint about this movie, there's
What's
no
the biggest?
direction.
No, it's just no.
all over
the place.
Just all over the place.
Do you want a movie that feels like a Hallmark movie, but also at the same time feels like a revenge film, and also a zombie movie without zombies,
and slasher too,
and a slasher movie, and a drug dealing movie? Well,
And
this is the one for you.
plenty of cameos for some reason.
Yeah, just Tommy Lee shows up for no
Yeah.
reason. You're just like, why are all these cameos? Would you like your movies filled with obscure rock legend cameos? Well, this is the movie for you, The Retaliators.
And listen, if you're gonna get Tommy Lee in this, you gotta show his dick, man.
No,
Isn't that what he's known for?
I don't want to see it.
I mean, apparently he has a long.
Again?
Yeah. Here we go again.
I don't want to see it again. No, I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
I mean, it would help the movie though.
Yeah,
probably.
if he just came out butt naked, we're like, damn.
Yeah.
Everybody be talking about this movie.
I would be talking about it a lot more favorably. But The Retaliators tells a story about I guess he's like a new age preacher, right?
Okay.
Not really a priest, right? He's like a
No,
minister.
he's just. It looks like he just picked it up.
Yeah, he looked like he was like one of those like Liquid Church or like Scientology or something like
Yeah.
that. Like one of those guys, one of those hip
Let's
guys.
talk about more about Liquid Church.
No,
man.
yeah, wait.
Like-
This is the Liquid Church review, but it's like
Yeah.
one of these hip guys. He wears like the shirt. He plays rock
Yeah.
music in the church. There's all different colors in the
Yeah.
church. All black, white, Chinese, all holding hands and dancing in the church. And he's like new age.
Dancing hard too.
Dancing very hard, by the way. And it's like not it's not all about God's gonna smite you down and you gotta obey our Lord and blah blah blah. It's not that. It's new age. It's saying, hey, love thy neighbor.
Yeah.
Give him a high five. This guy wants you to share a beer with God, pretty much. And he has two daughters.
Somehow he ends up in a horror movie.
Yeah, it's a horror. The horror comes. He winds up. He has two beautiful daughters, and they're very good. They all have a very happy family, and it all gets uprooted one day where his daughter crosses paths with a drug-dealing, homicidal, bald-headed murderer. She witnesses
with a very
something
short temper too.
very short. She witnesses something she's not supposed to, and he murders her.
Yeah.
Right? That's pretty much what happens. And then, we establish that this preacher guy, the main character, is very fit, I guess.
Yeah.
He's a very fit man because they mention how many push-ups he does in a day for some reason. And he's also a fan of turning the other cheek because there's a scene where they're picking out a Christmas tree, and one of the guys takes the Christmas tree from one of the daughters. And this is there's tons of Christmas trees everywhere. There's no need for any of this, any of this discrepancy or any of these confrontations. But the guy is very confrontational and says, hey, you snooze, you lose. This is my Christmas tree now. And when the daughters egg their dad on to do something, like knock this guy out, he is, look, I can't do that. I'm a pacifist.
He's
I don't
like
fight.
Jesus.
He's like Jesus. He turned the other cheek. He says, there's no need to do that. If I knock him out, I wind up in jail, which is very sound advice. It's
Very good advice in a very weird movie.
Very
to have
strange
a
movie.
Very good moral moment.
Right,
You know
and
what I mean?
look, the first. So the opening scene is like a bunch of zombie mutant
Mayhem.
monsters killing these two girls in New Jersey, by the way.
Yeah.
in where was it? Hillsdale, New Jersey. Which,
Yeah, I actually know where Hillsdale is.
Yeah,
It's
me
not,
too. It's not too far from
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
So,
Everybody's like, where do they live? I'm
yeah,
like,
you
"You'll
don't
never
know. It's like, don't dox ourselves.
Yeah.
And then they're getting murdered, and you see our main character, Preacher, covered in blood. And he's like, they're not zombies, and all this mayhem is ensuing. But then the next 15 minutes of the movie is a Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
It's like a Hallmark movie. It's like really
yeah,
like
yeah. But that's the thing that's so confusing about it. In the beginning, they're getting murdered. It's like it's not like I kill her real quick. No, it's just constant like blood
decapitations,
everywhere. Yeah.
like murder, blood everywhere.
And in the beginning, you're like, wait, what the fuck is going on here? Because everybody, and she's like, Erica. I think she kept looking for her, or whatever.
Erica's
that girl was.
dead.
I'm like, Erica's been dead from the first 5 seconds of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler. She dies
very
very,
hard.
horribly. So then the next 15 minutes is like a Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
It's like teaching life lessons, and you got the preacher and his daughter and everything like that. And then the next 20 minutes or so is a crime movie because we meet our titular villain, and he's doing whatever villainous stuff for some reason.
Yeah.
Now, why did he kill that guy in the
I don't
beginning?
know. In the beginning?
Yeah, when he was buying the car, why did he beat?
But that's what I'm saying. I thought he had like a short temper.
Yeah.
Didn't he just get pissed for no reason?
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Like I remember when I saw that, I was just like, why did he get killed
Like
again?
he's
I
not a
was like,
serial killer. Like he works for the mafia or the mob. He works
Yeah.
for the some kind of not trucking, biker mob.
But doesn't make sense.
It
right?
doesn't. Like
For that whole story in this movie, you're like, but why? You could have went something more subtle, I guess.
yeah, I mean, he could have been anything else.
He could have just been straight up a killer, or just
to me, I thought he was just. I could be wrong. Correct me if we're wrong. I think he was just delivering drugs. Like and then he decided to murder people on the way.
Amazon driver.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just delivering this, but I'm fucking pissed how you talk. To me.
Yeah,
Just
don't
murder
talk
me.
to me that way. Like he
Yeah.
sticks his he like murders this. Well, doesn't really murder him. He like tortures him. Puts this guy on a pipe. Puts his mouth on a pipe. It's all very confusing on the tailpipe.
Yeah.
And it's all very confusing.
Well, it's
at that
how it's
point.
shot too.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's a hard thing to explain. You have to see it yourself.
Don't see it.
But it's just like everything's just happening so fast, and you're
Yeah.
like, what's
the way
going
it's
on?
filmed, it's like so like. It's so boring in some sense, like when they're doing like the dialogue scenes with the dad and like it's so boring, and like the filters are just so like mediocre and just like, what is this? It's like somebody just like us filming it.
Yeah.
and then later on, it's just so kinetic. Like the camera's like
Yeah.
in the sky and it goes upside
It's
down.
just like, you're like,
And
oh,
it's like somebody took a camera
it's
and
like
just
the
started.
camera guys from Ghost Rider.
Yeah, Spirit of Vengeance.
Yeah. Just came in. They're like, all right, just do these really quick. Right?
Yeah, the second one. Yeah,
Because it's like, the gore is like, I feel like horror movies, you want to see like, oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You gotta see this. This is just like all over the
it's
place.
just kinetic, and like there's scenes where they have the camera, like they literally take the camera, and I think they just spin it up in the air and throw it on the ground, like
Just like,
Yeah.
kind of like that.
Look, I get it conceptually what they were trying to do because there's a lot of action scenes in this
Yeah.
movie. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to show the action. Like if you ever seen The Raid, that guy Gareth Edwards, he likes to do a lot of things with the camera following the action. So when our character falls on the ground, what they're trying to do is that the camera, you feel like you're falling with the main character, right?
Yeah.
But they completely say,
No, this is just a guy just getting stabbed. They're like, just kinda
it's like the
that.
guy just started having a seizure, a moment like.
He's like, all right, no, I got this. Don't worry, I'm not sick anymore.
Yeah. And they couldn't fire him because of the Disabilities Act of
Yeah,
19.
they're just like, we can't do anything about it.
We
just
can't
gotta let
fire
it
this
be.
guy. You should have told us you had a seizure disorder before
And
you.
then the film editor also has seizures too. He's just
Yeah.
like, just like
Everybody has
editing.
seizures in this movie. So then we find out later on that his character, they killed his daughter, and there's a cop, the guy from Ozark,
Yeah.
one of the brothers. I forgot his name. He's a good actor though. He was in
Yeah.
Sick. He was the killer in Sick. Spoiler alert for Sick, available on Peacock. He was the murderer because the girl gave his daughter COVID, so he started killing everybody with COVID. It's a COVID horror movie.
Hence sick.
Hence Sick. Not bad. But anyway, that's
It
for
could have
another
been
time.
better.
I wasn't bad though.
I don't not like it.
Yeah, it
I
wasn't
remember
bad.
I saw it. I was like, okay.
Yeah, better than this movie.
Yeah,
So-
way better. This movie's just
It's nuts. But then, so he's a cop who we find out through flashbacks after flashbacks that some of his loved ones died, and his way of exacting revenge is finding the people that get away from the law or that he believes that are deemed more, that deserve more of a punishment than just jail. He doesn't believe in the jail system, even though he's a police officer. And
which is another thing.
yeah, it's like what? He's like a vigilante, but he doesn't kill them. What he does rather is he every rapist or murderer or whatever, anybody, these guys are like the lowest of the low. If he deems it necessary, he'll kidnap them, allow the families, the victims of the family's victim, to have their way with this person any way they would like. That's not explicitly stated, but you can't kill him. That's his only rule. You can stab him, take his eyes out, take their whatever, anything you want. Mutilate them, and then he keeps them all locked up in a cage. Which was, wait, let me ask you something, though. When he had them in the cage, real quick, did you see there was a little kid in that cage?
I believe so.
Yeah. So are they breeding?
I thought it was like mixed. So there was like, they were older and younger too.
Yeah.
So I
But I
did see,
saw, like, a little
I did recall
kid.
seeing it, but I didn't see the kid
But
again.
you think, because there's men and women in those cages that he keeps. So he keeps all of these murderer, rapists, criminals in this cage.
Again, but why?
Yeah,
like what? Like
there's no reason for it. There's no
it's
rhyme
just
or
not.
reason.
It's just kind of like what like.
It's just another way of like, they're like, it's the revenge movie where, you know, this guy's worse than the people he's getting revenge on. But what my thing was really sick, and they didn't really explore this, but there's men and women in these cages, and at one point a glimpse you see a little kid.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, wait a minute, are they breeding in there? Are they having sex with each other? Like, and a lot of these guys,
Some brain dead status.
Yeah. Could be like that. I don't know, but a lot, they're mutilated. So a lot of them are mutilated, so they almost look like zombies. Their eyes, their ears are taken out. Pieces of their brain are missing, like, so they can be confused as
Just
zombies.
keep moaning at that.
You're like,
my kind of,
Does it sound like your kind of cage? So, anyways, we get to the point where, you know, a bunch of stuff happens, man. Like, so it's like
just again.
it's just
kinda
action
like,
and horror. So the way that the preacher gets mixed up with it is he's the next one in line and says, hey, we captured the guy that killed your daughter. Would you like some time to do your thing with him? And he refuses. And that refusal causes him to get tied up, and he witnesses all these things happening. But at the same time, simultaneously, the guy that they captured is involved with the drug dealer. He's like a drug delivery guy. So naturally, all the people that wanted their drugs are looking for him. So they track him down to this remote location in New Jersey. Jersey, yo, fist pump, baby, in Jersey.
They're like doing this move, like, yeah, we representing Jersey,
Jersey, baby. And then there's all these like, so these monsters and things, and then they collide. The gangster guys collide with this, whatever, with this torture chamber house, and the priest or the preacher winds up giving the keys to all the murdering rapists, monster guys, letting them out, and then they run rampant throughout the hills of New Jersey while they fight they start fighting the gangster guys.
But you know Hillsdale, right?
Yeah.
Like, why of all places? Hey, we're gonna do a movie based in Hillsdale, New Jersey.
Yeah, Hillsdale's not that way.
No, not at all. And then it's just kind of like, but why Hillsdale? I'm from here. That's it's just kind of like.
Why not Mawa? Like Hillsdale, feel like it's close enough.
Atlantic City or something like that.
Atlantic City sounds like that would be there.
Not by the boardwalk. Away.
Here, 2 blocks away from the boardwalk, you're in trouble.
You'll see.
So there's a lot of action ensues at that point. But the problem is that the reason why all this death and destruction is happening and why a lot of innocent people die is because the preacher decided to let go of these rapists, murderer, monsters. And there's at least one point in the movie where they, you know, when they let him go, they corner him. 4 guys corner him in a house, and they're about to go to town on him. So it doesn't happen. Spoiler.
It's implied.
They're pulling their pants down. They're pulling his pants down, and they're pulling their pants down. Like, they're ready to go to town on this guy. And I'm like, see, why'd you let them out? And at that point, I was kind of checked out. I was like, F this guy, because at that point, I was like, why the hell did you let them out in the first place? Like, they couldn't have done a scene where, you know, the gangster dudes come in, they're shooting at him, and they shoot the lock off, and they accidentally come out. Why does he have to be the cause of it? Because later on in the movie, we see that which is the opening scene of the movie, 2 innocent women get horribly, brutally murdered because of this minister who did this, who let them out. So is
this kind of like a knock on being pacifists?
I don't know what they were talking about with this.
It was confused. It was like, okay, here's this guy who's supposed to be a good guy.
Yeah.
But he does something really stupid.
Right.
Like, this is what happens when you're an asshole like this guy, but he's not really an asshole, but I don't know what I'm talking about.
I don't know what they were trying to say with that.
That's what I took a little bit from it. It's just like, oh, hey, you want to be an asshole like this guy, even though he's a who he should be. You know, always turn the cheek.
Yeah.
You know, and
Trying to do
be
the
a
right
good guy.
things. Yeah.
I don't know about the whole pastor thing, but you know what I mean. No, yeah, but
I don't know. I don't know why he I don't know what the
It's just
commentary
weird.
was on that, on why did they make him such a pacifist, and then he's forced to fight these monster things. So we get a lot of
Yeah.
action scenes, which they're not the worst in choreography, but they're bad in execution. Like the camera angles, the editing is terrible, but you can tell that they really staged some decent action scenes. They staged like decent choreography scenes or like set
and
pieces.
also the blood was pretty good too.
The blood was good.
But the thing is, like you said, it's just the editing and the shots. Just so weird.
I don't know what they were trying
It's
to do
like,
with
hey,
this movie,
we're gonna
honestly.
film this part where this lady gets murdered.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. And then you just start just going like that with the camera. It's like, why?
Yeah, and you don't even know what was crazy is they wanted to make it like you didn't know what killed her at first. Like it just her head pops off and you're like, whoa, what was that? Like, are these like werewolves or something? Or are these
getting
vampires?
Hit,
Yeah.
and you're like, wait, what? He has a bat? What's going on?
Yeah,
here?
it's very odd. So they fight. He survives the ordeal, and they wind up going to he winds up going back to his church and everything, and his daughter's okay, and he gives his sermon and everything like that, and then lo and behold, another person comes up and tries to bully him at the baseball
Liquid Church.
Yeah. No, was it baseball, tennis, or baseball thing, whatever. Tries to take his spot, and he winds up like punching the guy. And it's such a comical scene. He like punches him. And he's like whoop, and then, whoop, 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 and he falls on the ground. After all this violence and implied rape and torture and gore, you get this weird like scene out of a Disney movie where he's just like he bonks the guy in the head and no blood. The guy's just like whoa, 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 whoa. I guess I learned my lesson. And he punches him in front of the sun. The son looks at him like, Dad. Yeah,
like
and then the kid goes, he's like butterfly, like there's like birds flying around his head, like, and the kid's like, Dad, what happened? And then he goes, he turns around to his daughters and he goes like, I'm sorry, the other daughter died, got murdered earlier in the. Let me not forget. He turns around to his daughter and he goes, I'm sorry I had to see that. And then it's like, Retaliators. And then it's like, what the fuck was this?
And Rotten Tomatoes is like, this is the best horror movie I've seen recently.
This is the one instance where I think, and I'm looking at my Rotten Tomatoes right now, I think what happened is that this studio paid for these reviews. I think it's 40 reviews.
Yeah.
I think they paid a bunch of people like us that can be bought. We can be bought, by the way.
We're cheap.
We're cheap.
Just give us some gift cards.
Do whatever. You give us Amazon gift cards. We'll do it. So you got 40 people.
I would love Amazon gift cards.
That was great. Everything you can get on Amazon.
Well, what about a Visa gift card?
Visa gift cards are cool because you could put it through PayPal and then get the cash out of them.
Or you could just use it for gas, too.
You could do it for gas.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true. But, like, I think they paid for these reviews because this movie sucks in every sense of the word. I don't see how you would even like this movie ever. I don't know who this is for. I don't know who would like this. Like, there's nothing redeeming about it.
Why you will like it.
Yeah, why would you like it? It's a big waste of time. This movie for me is a 0 out of 10. It gets the shit T.
For me, it's a very much shit T, but it's a -5.
-5.
Because it's one of those movies like I was telling him earlier. I was like, you know those 90s horror movies that just showed up on Sci-Fi and you got nothing to do and you're just watching it. It's just so bad and you're just like, all right, just dealing with it. And there's all these cameos.
Yeah,
of
weird cameos everywhere.
Random cameos too. Like if you told me Tommy Lee 10 years ago was a cameo, I was like, okay, I understand that. But Tommy Lee now, I'm like,
why?
Okay.
He's just a bartender too.
Yeah, at a strip club too, of all places too,
And then they stop for the cameo, like, hey, look at this guy. Hey, look at him.
He's like, hey, what's up? And I'm just like, oh, Jesus.
There's a lot of cameos in here. I don't recognize a lot of them, but
no,
apparently
there's definitely a lot, and it's just kind of like for no reason. It just seems like somebody had a lot of money. They're like, let's make a gnarly horror movie, and somebody was like, yo, I just saw that Ghost Rider movie. You know what I mean, with the shots, and they just do that and just get all their rock buddies to be in this cameo in a horror movie, and it, just so they could say they were in a horror movie. And
it's like it's a rock inspired because even at the church he is like a rock band playing. I think that's a real band. I don't know which band they are, but
but also the music in the beginning, it was just very much. That's what I'm saying. It's so odd. It's like it's a movie stuck in its time. But we're not in its time. It's back then.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like whatever you liked in high school, rock wise.
Yeah,
that's this kind of music for this movie.
That's true. I think it's somebody that had a lot of money, and it goes connection with my theory. I think it's some guy that had a lot of money with a lot of friends in the industry. They wanted to make a horror movie and put all their buddies in it, and they paid for these reviews because I'm calling you guys out. Whoever did it, and there's 2 directors that did this movie, by the way.
there's
two people made this movie. Like, I was reading the credits, and I'm like, 2 directors to do this? You could just do it with one.
That's crazy.
So I think they paid for these reviews, and honestly, it doesn't take much to pay somebody off. Like, you can make a review site or whatever, or you can pay these guys off. These are just regular people. Reviewers are not, unless you're like Jeremy Johns or Chris Stuckman or like the big guys that make R.I.P. Roger Ebert or Richard Roper. If you're not making that much money reviewing movies, it's just not, the money's just not there. But
because depending on who you are, they won't care about your opinion.
They don't care. Like, you don't have that much influence.
Seems to be I remember back then IMDb used to be good about it with the reviews, but then people who just hate a movie, would just put 0 and then it would just ruin it. And I think for this, I agree with you. I think Rotten Tomatoes, what it is now, it's just being paid out by the big companies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
because they silence reviews too. They silence reviews. Yeah,
that's just crazy though.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. But now I think we're gonna do later on. We're gonna do watch this, not that kind of thing, where we talk about a bad movie or a good movie. Mostly bad movies that are similar in style, and then we'll say, hey, watch this instead.
Like, this is what they wanted to do.
Yeah,
but they did it with less fun and less
and less things. So
one less director.
So one movie I would like to recommend with this is not the same type of movie, but it has the same vibe. So this movie was trying to do, in my opinion, and it was the Retaliators was trying to be a rock, avant-garde, horror, revenge, action, horror joint, whatever. For me, what gave me similar vibes, but was infinitely better, is a movie called The Devil's Candy.
Okay.
I think that is something you should watch. Now, I'm not going to do a review of The Devil's Candy here. I mean, this is just we're shitting on the Retaliators.
Yeah, we're busy doing that.
But that is a movie I would watch instead as my recommendation, because I think it nails the rock horror aesthetic pretty well. I think it's hardcore heavy metal rock action horror, and it works. It just works on every level. And I'm not a rock fan, not a heavy metal fan, but I got that vibe and I was into it the whole entire time.
I have to agree with you. I'm a rock fan and a heavy metal guy, but I agree.
You like Devil's Candy?
Yeah. I think that actually, the fact that you said that, it makes sense. Mm-hmm. Versus this movie, it was just it's I don't know, when you watch it, you'll see what I'm saying.
Don't watch
it's just stuck in its time.
Yeah.
Literally whatever an embarrassing band that you liked in high school, they still like it.
Yeah, they still like it. They're still wearing their shirts.
They're still wearing their shirts. They're still going to their shows.
This movie sucks.
They still get excited when they get their autographs. They're still all about it.
This movie is ass. No other way to shape it. No other way to say it. It sucks, and I had to talk about it. We just had to talk about it for a little bit.
The shit tea.
The dialogue's bad. The only thing that's good is like it has a little bit of good gore, and you can tell like they took a little time with the choreography. The acting is terrible. There's too many flashbacks. There's too many cameos, and the story doesn't make any sense.
The casting is weird.
It's weird casting.
It's just an odd movie. It's just kind of like
the acting is off too, right? Isn't it off? Like
it's just like it's a hot fucking mess.
It's like everybody's reading. It feels like people are reading off a piece of paper and then going back up and reading.
Yeah, so I'm gonna murder you, and this is the scene where what?
Hey girl, get back here now. Wait,
line please. I can't read this part. What's it supposed to say?
It's smudged. I put my jelly donut. I smudged it with my jelly donut. It's bad. But anyway, don't watch that movie. But if you like this video and you like us talking about reviews, movie reviews, and news, and all things horror, then consider subscribing to us. This is Terror Talk. We love to talk about horror movies, and we hope you like listening to it.
Terror Talk, baby.
Bang.